All right, good morning and welcome to this week's episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. Things a little different this morning. I'm running the back end stuff. Adam is in South Carolina today. I'm Jen Waybor. I'm one of the sales coaches and the marketing director for Just the Tips. And Adam Smith, owner and coach with Just the Tips Coaching.
Hi, Jen. Thank you for running the back end. I know it's a little unique that my travel plans got derailed for those of you watching or listening live or in syndication. So Jen picked up some of the slack while I hate to say it, I got stuck at the beach.
Terrible, just terrible.
Terrible. And we do have a really cool guest for you guys today. Also back in Colorado, where Jen is a great realtor that we know and have come to love in the metro area, Jeremy Kane. Good morning, Jeremy. Well, it's morning where you guys are. It's afternoon here.
How's it going? Thanks for having me. And sorry you got stuck at the beach, Adam. I'll send my condolences.
Yeah,
send my flowers.
It's a freaking tragedy, man.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So there were a few other bumps and bruises along the way. We lost power this morning, so that was also an interesting thing. Definitely not used to the weather. It just rains a lot. But yeah, we're adjusting. How about that?
Okay. Sounds good.
So Jeremy, give us a little bit of background on you, or I should say give our audience a little bit of background on you. Obviously, Jen and I certainly do our research, but how did you get into this crazy real estate game? Well, I guess we should let everybody know that you are a real estate agent in Colorado.
Yep, absolutely.
And how long have you been doing that?
I'm coming up on 8 years here. My father is in the business still, and so that was kind of a segue. He's a manager at my former company, Brokers Guild. I just changed companies not too long ago. So Thanksgiving dinner might be a little awkward these days, but no, just kidding. It was all good, full blessings from my dad. So I got in the business about 8 years ago. I got a psychology degree from Colorado State. Go Rams. And I got into teaching and ran a halfway house for a little bit, adult felons. And I decided there was a little bit more money in the real estate game and decided to start a family and kind of transitioned over to the real estate side. It's kind of been full bore from then. 9 years ago was a really good time to get into the business, or 8, I should say. And just kind of continued to build. Last year I closed 47 sides. This year I'm at 26 and have 5 closings this week. So
that's fantastic. But yeah, let's back up a little bit, because a lot of our audience, and I don't know what it is about Jen and I, and we may be the catalyst or the problem, but pretty much every one of our coaching clients through the course of our program changes companies. I mean, literally the majority. It's kind of a strange phenomenon. And I think a lot of people would not necessarily be all that, I'm dying to hear about the family conflict, although it certainly does lend interesting fodder to the tale. But changing companies is a big deal. It's not easy to do. You've got so many assets out there that a lot of people don't even think about when it comes to, social media and websites and email and business cards and just on and on. What was that transition like for you?
It was interesting. I had some deals under contract, and my previous company was gracious enough to release those. So not only did I have all of that in the mix, I had to kind of work my way through those transactions and getting those amendments and everything settled and everybody on the same page and letters from both brokerages and then just the general piece of it. I mean, it went pretty well. I knew it was coming. I got some signs really quickly. And that was easy, the easy part. And then it was, honestly, the hardest part was getting Facebook to accept my name change. They would not do it. And
that's funny.
Right. So I created a new Facebook page and, was trying to, migrate it over 700 likes or some followers on my Facebook page. And one day I just had, the right words, and they just approved it after I'd already started my new one and did that. So we're back at the original Facebook page, new name. So that was the hardest part. And then obviously just going from Brokers Guild 100% model to EXP and their model, it was just all the paperwork and where we house all that stuff that was kind of drinking from a fire hose as far as getting that done. And 60 days in, I'm good. I think I have the right transaction coordinators and people helping me out. But, there's still something that comes up every day. I see, something that goes out or, a subscription I have and it has the old company's name and I have to go back in the back end and change it. But I think we're close after, 70 days now here at the new company.
I assume that included a pretty significant technological change. I mean, I don't know anything for a fact, but obviously we know and work with a bunch of agents in the Colorado area that are Brokers Guild, relatively small firm. I'm guessing about a few hundred agents, maybe more than that by now.
Actually is 1,100 agents.
1,100
both companies on the Colorado side. But I mean, the 100% model is kind of a la carte.
Right.
And so, and coming over to EXP, there's a lot of things that are KV core and those things that are given to you. So I'm kind of in the middle of the a la carte transition over to kind of the state of the art things and all in one kind of model.
And there was a technological leap of sorts. It seems to me that EXP's technology is certainly real cutting edge as far as sizable real estate companies go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm lucky enough to be a part of a group that has Mike Sherrard as he's on my upline. He's one of the YouTube masters. So weekly meetings with him and coaching from him. So it's but EXP as a whole provides KV Core, which provides the website and the back end CRM, all that stuff that is really, I'm just tipping the iceberg as far as things that I can do. But the full transition, that was a major thing in my decision to come over.
And it sounds like the transition actually wasn't too painful.
It wasn't too painful, but the transaction certainly helped to get on the right foot. And, I've capped in 60 days, so that helped a lot.
And in 8 years' time, this is the first time you've made that switch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
The 100% brokerage model and Brokers Guild was amazing to me. Having my dad by my side and 24/7 frame of person to call was super awesome. And he taught me a ton. And now it's time to take the reins as he moves towards retirement eventually. No one knows the date, but it's happening soon.
All right. So in the interest of full disclosure, I know your dad pretty well.
Yep.
We've talked off and on for, 15 years. He's certainly been doing real estate longer than I've been doing mortgages, and that's 20 years. A little more. I taught a few classes over at their office on the west side of town for him. And yeah, great stuff. No question. He is, he may have been the best mentor you could have hoped for as a rookie, as it were.
Yeah, I didn't even sign up for it, but I got it for 37 years running here.
And all my dad gave me was a knowledge of baseball history, man.
Right, well, that's cool. He brought some of that too from the sports world. I'm a huge sports guy, and I think he won one of your competitions one time to get those Avalanche.
Yeah, I'll bet that's true. That would not surprise me in the least. Boy, that was years ago, back when we had live sporting events to attend. Right. Hopefully we'll get to do that again here in the near future.
Absolutely.
I did make it to a Nuggets playoff game, but that was the extent of it since the beginning of the pandemic. So when you first started out, and despite having this great familial mentor, what kinds of things were you experimenting with? What were you doing to find buyers and sellers? What did your lead gen look like when you first started out?
Yeah, obviously with the a la carte method, I got into some of the Brian Buffini stuff and used his kind of model and did that for a little bit. I've taken his base and his standards moving forward, building my business through my sphere mostly. It's been really good to me. I graduated from Lakewood High School, went to CSU for 4 years, moved back down to the metro area. So I have a really good base in the Denver metro area, have a really good base in the northern Colorado area as well. Have some leftover friends up there. Not leftover, sorry guys, but my financial advisor lives up there and things like that. So
former
definitely
classmates.
Right, there we go. as if they went to class. I don't know, some of them.
No, we didn't.
So,
and I would like to thank CSU for making sure or not making sure that I did.
Absolutely. So I knew that I had a really good sphere. Sorry. I knew I had a really good sphere going, and Buffini was able to help me build through that, as, you know, reaching out and just being a point of contact, asking for referrals. And I've really built my business that way. I kind of stayed away from the Z Word and Realtor.com and those things as much as I could. I think that really made me work and just come out of my shell more than I needed to, you know, more than I usually did, and just really network and just try and help people. And I've always thought that building a relationship supersedes the transaction. I think with I've talked to a lot of people that do the Zillow leads and things like that, and they have trouble with repeat clients because they just do what they did the last time. They click on, you know, a house, they click on a pretty face, and then they go from there.
Well, and that may be that they're not staying in front of them.
Right. Absolutely.
Let's be honest. Everybody out there, everybody who's watching, listening, live or in syndication, if you are not in touch with your past clients, they are now someone else's prospects.
Right.
Hopefully
mine. But
fine.
No,
yeah. Guys, go use Jeremy. If your agent's not staying in touch with you, because Jeremy will stay in touch.
Right. I stay in touch. And another thing I've really worked to is not, you know, this is maybe counter to some what you've heard, is just don't say no. Like, everybody's a human. Everybody's trying to, you know, build a lifestyle. So I don't care if I'm doing 40, 50 deals a year. If I have somebody come to me and say they need down payment assistance, they're looking at 200,000, I'm realistic with them about timing and things like that. But I'm going to work hard to at least build that relationship and help them get to a point where they can purchase a house, if they can't purchase a house, you know, at their current situation. And that's really helped my business continue to stay consistent. I have people all the time that are like, oh, you know, I'm not taking FHA, or I don't want to take VA because they're hard to get under contract. And that's just not my game. And if I have to show you 150 houses and, you know, we have to write 50 contracts, which usually my average is about 2 or 3, regardless FHA, VA, just by education and that stuff. But I'm going to help you achieve financial freedom through real estate, whether it's today or, you know, 3 years down the road. And that's really my mantra. And, you know, I really have to, sometimes it's hard. You know, you have those clients that you're going to show 60, 70, 80 properties, you know, and we really try and narrow it down, but sometimes that's what it is. And my thought is those people are lifelong clients. When no one else would, you know, pick up the slack and do the grind, you know, Jeremy stayed with it. He stayed in touch. And that's just my soapbox. And, you know, is every client deserves my full attention. You know, my job is to help people get into homes, and I believe in real estate investment. I have it myself. Started with my personal primary residence and have built from there. So yeah, I want to help as many people as I can to do that.
Yeah. And I can't stress that enough. Certainly for everybody involved in the business, although I do think the majority of people involved in the business understand the value behind real estate ownership, real estate investment, that kind of thing. But that first house I bought, I don't know, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, was really the key launching pad, the stepstone, the cornerstone for a successful real estate acquisition and investment platform. It really enabled me to do big things going forward just from that first piece of real estate.
Yeah.
I can't agree with you enough on that front.
And looking forward to build multi-generational wealth for my kids. My dad helped me purchase my first house at 19 up in Fort Collins. And that was absolutely the catalyst. I've bought, you know, 3 doors with that now, a duplex and another multifamily or another single family home. We just sold that one last year. And so we're right there. That one turned into 3 and allowed me to really launch my investment platform. So
portfolio.
To speak. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
Real estate portfolio which will provide long-term financial success. It will.
Yeah,
Nobody
absolutely.
ever got wealthy without owning real estate.
Absolutely. 90%, right? Millionaire.
Yeah. Yeah.
South, they say.
And you're going to find this really interesting, and I'm going to lump you into this group at a 8-year tenure in the real estate business. We were talking with a former coaching client, one of our close colleagues, and we all know from the NAR stats, 80% of realtors are gone in the first 2 years, 85% in the first 5 years. So we figure it's about 5% of all active real estate agents in the country right now have ever seen a buyer's market.
Wow.
I have not.
Right. Yeah. Because we've been going like this for longer than your career, which is lengthy as real estate goes, obviously. So yeah, we thought that was really kind of an interesting little nugget that, maybe 5% of all active real estate agents have ever seen a buyer's market.
Yeah, and absolutely. And, that's one of my, goals as a human is to kind of help other people build their real estate business through, how I did it. And we're not all the same, but I'll sit down and have lunch with anybody to talk them through, strategies. I don't care what company you're with or what you're doing. I have a heart to, help others be successful. And there's, like Ricky Caruth says, closings happen every day, and the competition is in the other names that we may have mentioned in this call a little bit, in the iBuyers and the Z word, so to speak.
The Z word. Yes.
I'm here to help the agents on the ground defeat that. So
that's fantastic. And there's some real Zig Ziglar shit in there, right? Whatever you put out there, when you're helping people, when you're helping others reach their goals, their business goals, their personal financial goals, whatever the case may be, that shit comes back to you tenfold.
Right.
It does.
Absolutely.
Zig was right. And he probably professed that, 30 years ago, 40 years ago?
Yeah.
Still holds true today. No doubt about it, my man.
And I know that's a key to the Buffini model too, is the Zig Ziglar. He's got all kinds of ties with all that kind of stuff, and the Roans of the world and that kind of stuff. So
Roan stuff is great. If you guys aren't listening to Roan's little blurb every morning, I highly recommend it. And talking about Buffini's stuff, and don't get me wrong, I love Buffini. I think he's a fun guy. He's a great guy. He's very sharp. He's very funny. He's got a great sense of humor about himself, which I really appreciate, especially with somebody with that kind of success.
Right. Maybe the Irish background. I don't know.
Yeah. But a lot of and don't get me wrong, the only complaint or critique or even criticism I would have about Buffini stuff is that it hasn't changed in decades. Now, the good news is that the stuff is so solid, it doesn't need to change much. I mean, I think, Buffini's model doesn't incorporate a lot of great social media work. Social media didn't exist. Even if the little bits and pieces that it touches, it doesn't understand what, social media algorithms are changing to, so on and so forth, that kind of thing.
Those change by the day, right?
Oh, yeah, by the minute. Yeah, absolutely. Since we started this little podcast. Yeah. But the stuff that sticks for a good reason.
Yeah, it's mindset stuff.
Well, there's certainly a lot of that.
And I went away from the actual mailers, monthly mailers, and his stuff because I saw a repeat in my 2.5 years doing it. So I was like, okay, we've already sent it out. The item of value is lost value, but the concepts stick with me. The financial concepts and all that stuff is where it's at. And that's the base.
And there's a lot being preached in that content about consistency, constancy. I mean, if you're doing the kinds of things that you do, no matter who you are, if you're out there watching or listening, if you're doing your lead gen work and you like doing social media, or you like working the phone, or you want to do mailers, whatever the case may be, if you're constant and consistent about it, which is a lot of what, Buffini prescribes, then you will have success with it.
Right.
And I think that there's a lot behind Buffini that really promotes that constancy and consistency that makes that type of work no matter what it is. You don't want to do Buffini's mailers, don't do Buffini's mailers. You want to do, a live video every Monday, here we are, coincidence, then by all means, whatever it is you're going to do, you've got to be constant and consistent. And Buffini's model pretty much regulates and regiments all of that for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
all the way down to how you get your money and spend your money.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously we're really big on zero cost marketing, repeat and referral marketing, work your existing circle. Obviously that's not a secret to you, Jeremy.
Right.
But yeah, there is some really solid theoretical content in Buffini's model.
Yep, absolutely. And I think some of the stuff you guys are doing with your coaching tips and things like that, I'm on the monthly voicemail, and just those things, some of it's I've heard, and, some of it's like a new idea. And just, you have to be a sponge. You have to be versatile. You have to be willing to change, and you have to be willing to compete. So all those little tips of voicemail, once a month or whatever it is, definitely is something that, opens your eyes. I have to be careful because now that I'm established, my wife always is like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, so because I'm like, one call, I'm in, bought in, like, let's go, let's reach for it. I know I can make this work because of, ABC. And so, I have my hands going all sorts of different directions, but, those little tips are, the basics. And, when I started, I sat down and I said, I'm going to instant message 15 people a day. I had Facebook the day it started. I'm just going to start casual conversations, hey, how you doing? And I'll tell you what, that is the base of my sphere. I still get clients from instant messenger on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
With some fine tuning, it's what we refer to as an active messenger technique. And we do teach it, we promote it. But yeah, you got a spare 10 minutes in your day, get into your Facebook Messenger, everybody. See who's active. Facebook Messenger will show you right then and there who's active on Messenger right now. And you could actually have captive conversations right then and there. And I'm not suggesting that you go and send a message saying, hey, I'm a realtor. Are you looking to buy and sell? Don't do that shit. Just start building relationships with people. And that is a great way to do it. So yeah, take a page from the book of Jeremy here, people.
It starts with, hello, how are you doing?
And how's the wife and kids? Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They will ask you eventually what you are doing. Sorry if you're watching on my Facebook page, you might have been victim to this.
Absolutely. And there are people watching on mine too, no question.
Right. Absolutely. But that's I'll tell you, that's the single biggest piece of my business is that piece. And it starts there. And once the real estate thing goes, or once they reach out to you about real estate, then it can evolve into the business piece. But from a friendship, like just relational model, it's just, hey, how you doing? What's up? Oh, you got married? Cool. They'll tell you those things that you've learned along the way, and all of these things that you've seen that are real estate likely events in your life. So that's my secret.
Right. And there's no progression to it, you guys, that Jeremy has nailed down. We make contacts, relationships, friends, clients, and advocates. And it's that same person. So Jeremy makes a Facebook friend. They eventually build a relationship. They eventually become friends. They use him for their real estate needs. And then they start referring more people for their real estate needs. They become an advocate. Everybody you come across either owns real estate, wants to, or knows somebody who does. Simple as that. Every single person you come into contact with could either be a client or someone who's referring you clients. Don't ever forget that. And if you want to come up with some techniques like Jeremy has in order to have a regimented, logical, linear system to doing that, starting with a Facebook Messenger technique, then fantastic. That's a great way to do it. But Jeremy, laying out some education. Love it.
And I'm always available to chat. So that's what I do. And I promise I won't hardcore recruit you to EXP if you call me. That's not why I'm here. But would love to chat with you about how I do it, what you do, whether you're at a different company with EXP already. Just love building those relationships, and I'll tell you, that's the second key to my success, is building relationships with those other agents, because when you do enough deals, one of those agents is going to be a listing agent in this crazy market. And I have gotten deals just because of that previous relationship. And you're tied with, another offer, you're in the ballpark, and they're like, hey, Jeremy's going to get it done. He's a cool guy. We had coffee, we did this, or we've done a deal together. And so agent relationships is huge to me. Never burn a bridge. It's not about our egos. It's about getting the deal done for our clients. So,
all right. So if people reach out to you, you're not going to recruit them, but you can help them with their car's extended warranty.
Well, I can tell you I don't necessarily have a spiel for that. I continue to get those calls. But once I have a script, I will share that with you. Absolutely. I've threatened to call the police. I don't know. I'm like, you are currently harassing me. I sold that car 5 years ago. I
get calls for cars I've never even owned. So yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah. Typically now I've given up. I don't even get to that point. I just hang up when they say they're with dealer services. But
all right. So Jeremy, if people want to have that conversation with you, how do they get a hold of you?
My cell phone, 303-210-0378. I'm at JKCO Realtor on Instagram and on Facebook. Email jeremy.kane@exprealty.com. Whatever you guys want, or instant messenger, Jeremy Kane. I got my two beautiful daughters and beautiful wife, and an American flag on my profile picture. So that's where I'm at.
Perfect. So. And Jen, what are we missing? What else do we want to milk Jeremy for, other than maybe doing a sequel with us?
Yeah, definitely. We are booking, I think it's August of 2022 right now, which is awesome. Cool. But no, I think everything you've said really aligns with what we believe at Just the Tips. It's all about relationships. I laughed a little bit to myself. I come from the direct sales world, which, has all the negativity of like the, hey, how are you, girl? Want to buy my product messages. And that totally aligns with it's the, hey, how are you? What's going on in your life? And what can I help you with that might not be real estate? So I love all that.
What can I do to help you? Whether it's moving I might have to move a couple things or mow a lawn or something every once in a while, but that's okay. that's building advocates all day long. So
and I've got a lawnmower, no question.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in fact, most of the time it just sits, not being used. So
okay,
absolutely, that is.
It's hard to mow that beach sand over there, Adam.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to run it on the beach. No question, that would be bad. All right, well, Jen, take us home.
All right. So for those of you that are watching, you'll see our text code at the bottom. If you are listening, text TIPS to 63566. If you want to find out more about us, if you want to get a copy of Adam's book, Just the Tips, if you want to book a free hour of coaching, find out all of our recent videos. And then the biggest thing right now is our Mile High Mastermind, which is September 24th and 25th at the University of Denver. We've got some great content lined up, everything from helping you redo your website to social media, Clubhouse, LinkedIn, TikTok, everything in between. We're really excited. So you can get tickets. Again, text TIPS to 63566.
Yeah, it should be a great event. No question.
Adam, you're running the TikTok, aren't you?
I am not. I do have a TikTok account. I'm not real proud of it. Oh my God, TikTok is so great. And I see people putting amazing content out there, and the amount of time that they are putting in to produce 30 or 60 seconds of great content could be hours worth of work. I mean, kudos to them, but and we do have a TikTok famous type of person coming to speak at the event from Arizona. She's in Phoenix, I think. She's something like 1 million followers and 5 million likes on her videos. She is also a mortgage originator, but spends most of her time and all of her TikTok content on credit repair. But obviously the subject of that presentation will be, God, how the hell do I get 1 million followers on TikTok with content as boring as credit repair?
There you go.
Yeah.
She does great stuff. We're really excited.
It is impressive. It's
awesome.
really impressive.
That'll be great. Look forward to it.
Yeah, worth the price of admission just for that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. Jeremy, thank you. I know it's hard to tear out a half hour on a Monday morning, and we already talked about how busy you are with 5 closings this week. So
one got moved just for this show. They moved it back a little bit for me because of a poor lender. So make sure you're dealing with good lenders out there, like Adam himself.
Yeah, we've bailed out a few builders, lenders over the years, right. No question. Yep.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you so much for having me. It was awesome.
Yeah, likewise. Jen, Hit the extra, and we'll see everybody next week.